Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Breaking Tables on Halloween. This is Epic B.
And this is Tampa Neil.
What is your costume, Tampa Neil? What the heck is that? You're scaring me, bro.
I'm Jack Skellington from what the hell is that called? Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, no, I know. You just much scarier. Guys, this is Breaking Tables. Let's have some fun tonight. Happy Halloween, everybody.
No! Our table!
Woo.
It's broken!
You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the Mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them. The podcast breaking tables, you see us, we breaking them tables. Neil and Brian is breaking the tables. The Mafia, baby, you know that we dangerous. Everybody know. Don Brown.
All right. Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Breaking Tables Monday night, special hour, 7 o'clock tonight, because Tampa Neil is going to go trick-or-treating with that awesome, scary outfit he's got on.
Yes, it is Sunday or Halloween. Got to the kids trick-or-treating. My little girl's dressed up as Sally, so I am Jack.
Yeah. Well, Jack, you nailed it as Peter from the Buffalo Blitz on Wednesday nights. Built in Buffalo. But guys, you are watching Breaking Tables only on the Built in Buffalo network, best network out there. So if you're tuning in, you've chosen the right network, guys. We every single day, amazing content for eye and ear holes. This episode is brought to you by Lots of Candy, Coco's Fashions, and Straight Out of Buffalo, opening up their new shop in Clearwater, Florida very soon. And it looks pretty cool. Have you seen the photos yet?
I have. They sent me the photos the other day, and yes, it does indeed look really cool.
Awesome.
And I'm excited because it's only like 10 minutes from my house.
Right. Yeah, that's it. That's true. Hopefully, maybe they'll have it open for, I'll be in town again this week, and hopefully we can go do a show there. That'd be epic.
Absolutely.
We'll have to reach out to them. But guys, because it is the spirit of Halloween, we might as well get our special guests on. Tampa Neil just normally doesn't do this on a Monday. Maybe he does. Maybe it's a new thing. We don't know yet. But in the spirit of Halloween, 100%. No better guests to get on our show than your, let's go ahead and get started with the first group here. We got Buffalo Spartan and Bills Jason. Bills Mafia in the house. What's going on, guys?
Not much. Same old. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome, guys.
Doing awesome,
Bob,
brother.
I do.
And that's Bob. Bob, he is not enjoying Halloween, is he, today?
No, he had a bad day yesterday.
And if you haven't seen any of the videos, guys, it was actually pretty epic of them. You saw the blood and then dragging some people around. I'm sure they're flagged by the FBI with all these weirdos going on online nowadays, but it was epic, guys. Thanks for joining tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's go ahead and get our last guest on. Unfortunately, Bills Myers can't make it, but let's get our last guest. You all know him, Bills Vader. Dun, 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 dun. Now this Vader is the Halloween special. Would you like a puff of my inhaler, sir? Just saying. You sound a little wheezy.
I should be good now.
So guys, happy Victory Monday, happy Halloween. I guess before we talk about this awesome day, you got to crawl before we walk. All right. It is Halloween. Bills Vader, I'm gonna start with you and work our way around the room. Are you gonna go out right after this show and knock on some doors?
Not tonight. I actually am going to be having a movie night with my son, who is currently over here completely ignoring me, but that's okay.
Yes.
But, night, just gonna chill and just enjoy some family bonding time.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nice. Is your kid's name Luke? Just shot in the dark. I don't know why.
Nope. Back in the day, but his name is Antonio. But he is strong in the force, except for when it comes to 12 games. But yes.
Nice, brother. Nice. Bills Jason, how about you, man? I know you're always out and about.
I was going to, but my kid's a little older now, so he don't want nothing to do with me. But look, he is like chip off the old block here. Look at, can you guys see that? Look at him. Got a nice little his mask on too. Can you see? Either way, he makes one hell of a Voorhees man. I'll tell you that much. He's out with his girlfriend, so I'm just gonna probably go home and sit in the basement and watch movies too. Probably Jason movies, Friday the 13th Part 6, which is the best one.
Awesome.
And what else is on today? Nothing else on. No, it's Monday nights because the football game is gonna probably suck because that seems to be how every Monday night and Thursday night game is gone since the season started.
Yeah, I agree. How about you, Spartan? What are you doing, man? Are you gonna enjoy your Halloween just being a misfit like you guys are, or you guys gonna stick at home, watch TV, maybe go to Home Depot if you have time?
No more projects.
He's
At least this year.
He's lying.
Yeah, nothing this year. But no, I'm just staying in. My kid's a little older. He's 23, so he's actually locked in the room over here. Jason locked him in the room to handle him later at night. And,
pretty sure that is against the law, but we'll allow it.
Well, when his girlfriend comes over, they're gonna have their, that romantic scene where Voorhees comes from behind, chops off their heads. So
that's not exactly how it goes. Well, it's usually something way cooler.
Okay. Well,
I
was trying to keep it a little PG here,
but almost.
There is nothing PG about Voorhees, people.
Well, Tampa Neil, all right. Bail us out here, Tampa Neil. What are you doing after the show?
I'm going to continue trick-or-treating. I have another costume change I got to do because I got to dress up to match each kid. So after this, I will be turning into a zombie.
There we go.
Yeah, got a lot to do. Got a lot of beers to drink too.
You should have done it halfway. This side is going to be Jack. This side is going to be zombie. So all you got to do is just turn to one side whenever you're taking photos. Probably not.
It could be Two-Face.
Two-Face.
Yeah.
It's a quality costume.
Jack zombie. Zombie Jack. Jambi.
Well, he's already a skeleton. Can skeletons be zombies?
No.
Of course.
They have no brain.
Zombie skeletons. Don't you ever watch anime?
Yeah.
No.
That's.
Oh, yeah. Neither do I. All right, guys. Well, that's cool. That's cool. It is Victory Monday. So today feels really good, except for Bob, your buddy in the middle, Spartan and Jason. I think that guy is he's out of commission. So sorry. Have a fun trip back to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Turds.
I lost his cheese head though.
Tampa Neil.
I did make fondue for the game yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
That was lots of fun.
Throw it away.
The fondue,
right? Make the fondue and just throw it in the trash.
We had cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
No, I dipped some stuff in it. It was delicious.
Let's keep this PG-13, Tampa Neil. All right, guys. So we are 6-1, improving our record, beating the Green Bay Packers. Tampa Neil, we're going to start this question with you. I know we're going to go 19-1. It's in the books for us this year. Tampa Neil, okay. Give me one thing that you absolutely loved about this game yesterday.
The way we started this game off, they came out balls to the wall and were ready to fuck shit up, and they did. Both sides of the ball. It was a great game. I was very excited at the start of the game.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Sounds like there's a butt coming.
I know. Like, wait for it. Wait for it.
I told you I was excited about.
He said how it started off.
I'm waiting for a whole speech, and I'm going to start the slow clap afterwards. And I'm just I'm here right now. I'm like, okay, all right, cool.
Not getting into it.
Thanks, Neil. Let's move on to somebody more interesting. Bills Vader. One thing you absolutely loved about this Bills victory yesterday.
Well, I absolutely love the fact that we were just making plays with the ball and constantly scoring. The fact that we barely had a punt. We only had maybe, in the first half, maybe two third downs that we didn't have to worry about converting or whatever it was. Just the fact that we're just making plays and just moving the ball down the field. Definitely like the fact that we're having a little bit more of a running game as well. I thought that was very nice, seeing Singletary in action. I think it'll only get better from there. It was still a little rocky in the beginning of the season. It's starting to slowly evolve. We're not where it needs to be just yet, but the fact that we're actually trying it, doing it, compared to the previous offensive coordinator, I think it's a great step. So I was very happy to see that.
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
I'd agree.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. You just and they just went out there. We were obviously the better team. I get it. Jason, we'll start with you and then work our way over to Spartan. What's one thing you absolutely love, or you can list off 30 things like Bills Vader?
You want to know the biggest thing I really liked about that game? Y'all remember Josh is running, how we all go like this when he's running? Did you see him get cracked at the end zone almost?
Yeah.
That 1 yard line? He got up and got right back in that dude's face.
I love it. He goes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, he was mic'd up. He
seen
said,
a quarterback do that before. And you know what? Ours does, and he's a damn Buffalo Bill. We've never been able to do that. That's what I like most about that game. Because honestly, we never showed a lot of grittiness, fight, and all that, talk back, chirping, and everything else all year. It's been Coach McDermott style to the T, this. It's almost like they kind of let it go a little bit there. And they really, I don't know, gave it back to Green Bay. Because, you know, it's Aaron Rodgers. You're beating Aaron Rodgers. And I know Aaron Rodgers never actually won in Buffalo before. But those are all
He has not.
coincidences, weird things that just happened. And I don't know, that's what I
Complete
like.
losers.
We
And he'll
showed
retire
grittiness.
without a win in Buffalo.
I absolutely agree with you. It just the Packers are losers, but Josh Allen to do what he does on a weekly basis, small things like that, you know, as a teammate, how could you not play for him? You know, if that man tells you or even asks you to go above and beyond, you're going to want to go above and beyond because of just how he acts. So 100% agree with you, bro.
Yeah, he leads from the front. That's what they used to say in the Army. Lead from the front. All the time.
Absolutely.
That's
Extreme ownership.
That's
Extreme ownership.
Do something that he wouldn't.
Winners want the ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, EJ Manuel thought he was a winner too.
All right, Spartan. One thing you love, bro.
I had to agree with the cockiness that we finally showed. It started with Diggs in the tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it continued the whole game between those two. And even in his post-game press conference, you know, he was like, hey, we won it. You know, like it started, it ended, and I loved everything in between into that. I love Milano's play. That nice interception. He's been playing phenomenal this year.
Man,
What do you think
he was so
outperformed?
close to a pick six also.
He only had
outper-
like 4 interceptions yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, Spartan, this question is for you. Who outperformed who? The defense or the offense?
Ooh, defense.
I know it's got to be the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Offense
think
was
the
off.
defense did because the offense was having hit and miss.
Rough second half.
Yeah, a couple bad thrown balls by Josh that just looked like ducks in the air, which we rarely ever seen that floater pass that he threw that went like 50 yards into the air straight up.
It was like a Nerf ball.
Yeah, we don't see that often out of Josh, and it just wasn't. They weren't clicking yesterday. Towards the end of the game, the second half, you know, somewhat into
Felt
the second
dry.
quarter. It did. It was slower than a lot of the games that we've seen.
It's because they were running too much.
Well, you know, it's the first half that definitely they were mixing it up a bit. I think Josh Allen had his rhythm and they kind of just switched it around second half.
Mhm.
And, you know, at times, you know, I'm happy. Why I'm happy? The one thing I absolutely loved is we came out with a victory because there were times, and I might be the only person thinking this, but there were times when the third round, like, oh no, I've been a Bills fan for so long. You get your stomach starts churning and you're like, oh no. Oh no. I mean, this team is so good where like you rarely ever have that, but just for like a half a second, I felt that, oh no. And then Josh Allen scored and it's like, oh, okay. What was I thinking? Stupid me, you know?
I'll tell you,
So-
that game got really ugly in the second half, but at no point did I think that they were losing that game. Green Bay is just not on the same level as the Bills. The Bills are on a completely different level. I think the funniest statement that I heard about the Bills for that game yesterday was they just looked bored in the second half. They're like bored by whooping their ass, so they just kind of
Right?
stop.
It's like, come
I mean,
on,
it's
guys,
not
do
wrong.
something.
Really?
Karen Rogers couldn't get it done.
Yeah. Who's the best receiver that they got on the Packers there? What the hell's his name?
Me.
The rookie. That's it.
Lazaro, he was hurt, and then the other
Lazaro,
kid, Doobie or Gooby or whatever.
Doobies or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, he was, all right. He did pretty good,
Yeah,
but it is what it
you
is.
can't put the damn team on a rookie. That's not going to work.
No.
Oh wait, hang on one second. Yeah, Chris Collinsworth just said that.
God, I hate Chris Collinsworth.
I heard him say at least 5 times yesterday that they really missed Devontae Adams. I actually just heard him say it again. Most annoying fucking guy in the world.
All the
guys,
way.
we are spoiled.
Shut up, Collinsworth.
Listen, we are spoiled. We're sitting here spoiled, and we see they're actually on Twitter was blowing up, and a lot of people had the same thought process I was thinking when I woke up. It's like I wasn't impressed in certain aspect, but because I'm spoiled, because we're so used to dominant performances, where like teams don't even have a fighting chance. And honestly, they didn't. They clawed their way back. The running game was pretty good against us. Other than that, like Campanile said, they look bored. We were bored. It's like we didn't want to be out there anymore. It's like, guys, let's just finish this game. It's we're thinking about trick-or-treating the next day.
I mean,
Did you hear what Von Miller said about the run game?
What's that, Neil?
Did you hear what Von Miller said about the run game?
No. What'd he say?
He came out and he goes, they were running all over us because we were really expecting them to pass. They just didn't pass. Like they just never did. Like they literally screwed themselves by running it.
But they were screen passes. That was it.
Yeah. They kept on doing little screen passes, right?
Well, what I don't understand was how is it that we can stop the run for Kansas City? We can stop the run for Tennessee. We can stop the run as far as Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, but yet we get trampled over.
Because we expected.
It's like why would we not just adjust?
We expected those guys to run, and they probably didn't practice any runs.
Yeah, they're
they're not going to run on us. No, stop it. Come on.
But that's the thing also. I mean, yes, you may have prepared for a different type of offensive game from your opponent. However, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't. Okay, well, we've seen so much before, so let's just make this adjustment. I think that adjustment came too late. I think that Green Bay took advantage of that opportunity, and obviously it was clearly working for them because they were plowing right through the offensive line. I just think that we could have done better to adjust, and I love our defense. Don't get me wrong, but I think that Frazier could have done a little bit better.
Who was the
I agree.
defensive line like we usually do? That might have been another thing too, because we had the speedy defensive lines in yesterday, didn't we? More than the big guys.
Yeah, because they were going after Rodgers like crazy. But it was one of those things where they kept on running the ball, but they ended up really screwing themselves because they ran the clock out.
Yeah.
They really did. They ran the clock out on themselves.
Like if it takes you 5 minutes to score, oh darn, there's only 3 minutes left in the game, bud.
And you're only getting 3 points.
Yeah.
Even then, like it wasn't even that. They blew it on 4th down, and on
Yeah.
that 4th down play, did you see what Von Miller did during that play? He pushed like the entire offensive line over.
That's cheating. That is not fair, guys. How are you gonna let it's like was that what a video game? Like he just literally shifted that entire line to the center. Like they shoved like 3 players up the centers. You know what? That's insane.
And he's not even that big of a dude, which is crazy. He's not
just
like super huge.
Like he's got that strength where you just don't expect it from him. Like you look at Aaron Donald, you're like, oh yeah, that's a strong mofo. Right. And you look at Von Miller, it's like, I mean, yeah, he's shredded, but like, dude, he's definitely deceives you how strong that guy is. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. That's
superpower. Street Fighter shit.
All right, next question. Vader, if you could change one thing that we did, okay, just one thing, you create a time machine, you go back, and then you're like, all right, Vader, we're going to give you the whistle and the playbook, make your play. What are you doing differently and why?
Honestly, again, it goes back to that defense. the fact that, again, trying to counter that running game, I think we could have definitely done a lot better to at least adjust to that. Maybe not have completely stopped it, but at least slowed it down. I really think that had we done that, they wouldn't have been in such great position to make great plays as far as the touchdowns that they ended up getting. And I think that would have helped to demoralize them a little bit more, because I'm all about our team not letting up. It's like, you're putting your foot on the gas, keep putting your foot on the gas. Don't let up. Like someone mentioned earlier in the podcast, it looked like they were getting bored because they were winning so good.
Mhm.
Screw that. Keep going, because we need to send the NFL a message. Like the Eagles are undefeated, but when it comes to power rankings, we're still kicking some butt. Like we are in that conversation. So, if we have a strong defense that is more adaptable, that's the one thing I would have changed.
100%, man. I couldn't agree with you anymore, bro. That's spot on. Okay, Jason, you go back in time, bro. What are you doing?
I don't think I'm doing anything. We still won the game. I'm gonna get a Coke instead of a Pepsi, I guess. I don't know. We thrive off this shit. These games like this is the type of games is when then people criticize us again. Like you said earlier, we're used to this, so they hear this, and then you know what? The next couple games is ridiculous. We're blowing people out. It's 77-0. They're crying. Freaking shit's falling from the heavens on us and everything else. Champagne everywhere. But it's just, that's how it works with Buffalo right now. They're so used to being the low bottom of the polls team that when people criticize them just a little bit now, they come out 50,000 times better the next game than they were, or that they really are. So I like these games. We still won. Yeah, they did a little bit of stuff that was messed up. They screwed up a couple things. But now they're going to get criticized, and now they're going to come back next week, and I feel sorry for the Jets. They're going to be gone, flying somewhere else. They're going to be on a jet plane, the hell out of here, because they don't want to be in New Jersey right now.
Gotcha.
It's going to hurt for them.
Spartan, how about you, bud? What are you doing differently to go back in time and change this whole perspective of this victory from yesterday?
Temperature.
No, not the temperature. No. I think I would have probably continued putting the pedal to the metal, and literally just kept throwing them long balls to Diggs, get Gabe Davis open, those Jason's guy, have him score. I mean,
how about that?
I think Gabe Davis only caught 2 catches yesterday.
2 catches, 30 yards.
So I mean, we weren't
dropping. He could have had a big one, but he dropped.
Yeah. I mean, but we didn't really go back to him on a big one again. So I think those long balls keep that defense guessing what we're going to do, which is then you can start running those plays up the middle. Probably would have gained a couple more yards. Because I did like the fact that we did kind of mix up a run game in there, even though he thinks Moss should be in and not Singletary. But I did like that fact.
Okay. Tampa, how about you, man? Would you change anything around?
I'm going to change the statement I just heard that he likes Moss over Singletary.
Yeah, I would. I'd go back in time for that one too.
I do.
I'll be honest with you. The only thing that I would have changed is I would have not stopped running that football, because the first half they were running it and they were running it good. Singletary was all over him. Cook was all over him.
Yeah, Cook. I mean, both of them look really good. I mean, Singletary, I haven't seen him look as shifty all year. This is probably his best running game all year. Arguably, okay. I'm sure he had maybe 1 or 2 good games, but this was consistently where he was just shredding up cats. Okay. James Cook is starting to get in his own skin and look comfortable running that ball. But if I had to change one thing, guys, okay. If I'm Gabe Davis and I'm going to get a stupid roughing or unnecessary roughness call, I'm leveling. I'm fucking leveling Yair Alexander, because that guy is a douche burger. Okay, I'm surprised Stephon Diggs didn't punch him in the throat in the tunnel.
They were talking about that on the radio today too on GR local. They said it didn't even look that bad. Like they don't even know why it was a penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it was either.
That was kind of a lame.
Trophies.
Listen, that's kind of embarrassing. Kind of little shove hit. I mean, come on, lay the guy out.
Great acting.
Yeah.
Great acting is what that was.
Yeah.
He pulled a
I mean,
LeBron.
what they-
Oh,
He's prepping for his next career.
We should all send them like little tiny trophies, like little Oscars and shit.
No, that tackle after the catch and touchdown on Diggs was more of a penalty than that was.
Right,
'cause Diggs got
exactly.
right back up, and then he tackled him again.
Yeah. Diggs was ready to fuck him up after that. I'm glad we had some players that were there because he was ready to go after him.
Yeah. Well, one dude ran into him and shouldered him too. That was that one play. That dude got leveled. Oh my god, they were playing hard yesterday though.
Speaking of
They
getting
were-
leveled, how about running into a brick fucking wall like Jordan Phillips? That
That's
running
what I was
back that just
talking
cut
about.
over,
Yeah, dude, that
and
was
Jordan
crazy.
Phillips
He
is
like
like,
body
boom!
checked him, I know.
Dude, the guy went flying backwards.
He body checked his ass.
You
Like,
just heard
that
all
was
of us
amazing.
go, oh! The whole
Let's see
stadium.
that again.
Yeah, that was nuts, dude. And then he looks down at him like, and that's it.
Yeah.
And just walked off.
I think the funniest thing about watching the game at the stadium outside is we hear the crowd reaction like 7 seconds before the television. So it gets all hype and we're like, dude, something's about to happen. Watch the TV, watch the TV. And then something like that happens and we're like, yeah.
That preemptive notice to get back to the TV.
Guys, it was, we did really good. We did really good against you. We were saying that you can't leave Aaron Rodgers out of a game. He's going to find a way to get into a game, whether we psych him out thinking that all he's going to do is pass the second half. That's on Frazier. That's on Leslie Frazier for not for over adjusting or not adjusting, or I don't know what he did. I'm not a coach, I'm just sitting here armchair, just thinking about what I would do if I was a video game manager, but I'm not. I don't even play video games. I just pretend I do. Right, Evan Neal?
Yes.
But if you're Leslie Frazier, you got to be saying something like, guys, if I'm McDermott, I'm going to go Leslie Frazier. I'm like, how come Aaron Jones has 143 fucking yards? Like, what happens when we play a good team, a good offense, or Kansas City, we see them again in the playoffs, and then we let their running back do that to us. We're going to lose 100% of the time. A good, solid, all-around team with a running game, we're not going to win.
I've heard that argument 3 or 4 times today, and I'm just like, they're not going to plan for that.
Yeah.
It's a completely different game. They're not. They weren't planning for Aaron Jones to be running the shit out of the ball because he hasn't been all year. So to say, oh, if we play a good team, no. That's one of those. I'm like, no.
I mean, didn't we play Derrick Henry before?
Yeah, and
He didn't do nothing this
he
year,
didn't do
right?
shit because they prepared for
that's
him.
true.
So
No, fair enough. That's absolutely true. I mean, guys, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what these guys' thought process is. All I know, I'm glad that we've got solid players like Milano just being all over the field. I think Tremaine Edmonds is a hell of a player, but he does have some tackling issues. Bills Vader, if I told
how
you,
old is he?
hold on a second, Vader, if I'm going to go to you. So you've seen Edmonds play. Am I the only one that's thinking he's got some tackling issues? What's your thoughts on Edmonds and what he can do in the middle?
I mean, I absolutely love Edmonds. I think that's, you're absolutely right. There are some occasions where he's got like butterfingers. It's like, how did you not, wrap your arms around him? Now, I have seen, in this recent game, he has done a lot better with, kind of getting his arms around the player and everything. But I mean, when it comes to, just going midfield, especially with the runs, there could be a lot of room for improvement on that one. Getting to the sidelines and making those tackles is one thing. Making those tackles, in center field, that's another one. It still needs some work.
And that's what's going to separate the good players from legendary players. So is he content on being good, or does he want to get better and help us win a Super Bowl?
Well, that's the other thing too. Like, if you look back to the Kansas City game, how often did Kelsey go down the middle, and how often did he catch passes in the center field? And then he went right by Milano also. So, we really got to work on that, because there was like just a wide open space, like right down the center. It's like, why can't we, do more to protect that? So again, I absolutely love Tremaine Edmonds. He's one of my favorite players. No disrespect to him, of course, but yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and I do agree with you. He could work on his tackling a little bit more.
See, Posey writes, even when he tackles, they're always getting those extra yards, the yards after touch. She's right. All majority of watch the next game. The majority of his tackles, they're never backwards. They're always for extra yards. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he's a big boy. He's an athletic guy.
Big dog.
I just like, it's like, what is the solution to that problem? Because we see it. What do you got over there, Jason?
I got something on this. Guys, everybody forgets how old Tremaine Edmonds was when we drafted him.
I knew how to tackle in 10th grade when I was 10 years old. That means nothing.
Right,
means nothing.
He played 2 years of college ball, barely. And that was 1 year of J, whatever it was, from Virginia. He's only 24. Most people that have been in the league 4 years right now are 27, 28. So he's technically still where most players are, 3 years behind. He came into the NFL barely knowing nothing. He played 1 year of college football for Virginia. And so he's 24 right now. It's usually when a lot of these quarterbacks are freaking getting drafted, 23, 22. They redshirt for 5 years or something like that. So I still think he's young. He's still very young. He's still learning. McDermott has been his coach more than any other college coach. So he never really got that basic stuff. He came into it super young. Everybody forgets that.
That's a fair. That is a fair argument. I'm not. That's a very fair argument. Yeah, he's still. I mean, but 4 years in the NFL, 4 years of NFL experience, and you get to a certain point. It's like, how much more does he need to learn?
I mean, he was 19, drafted at 19.
Okay, he's just an absolute athletic freak of nature.
Yeah.
So you're saying he's just raw, and we still need more time to met him.
I mean, if you look at the NHL, goalies don't even become good till they're in their almost 30s, almost. You know what I mean? It just might be one of those type deals. Because he's doing something that most people never did. Most people don't come into the NFL that early. Most people stay through college and do all that stuff and get all that time on the field and everything else. We're asking them to come in young and run a defense.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. You got any thoughts on this one, Spartan?
So I can tell you from a guy who used to play linebacker, who converted to corner, because I had the same issue as Tremaine, where every time I tackle a guy, the guy would get 3 or 4 more yards. The biggest thing is the commitment to the ball. So if you watch tape of him, he kind of breaks down right before he goes for that tackle when they're right up the gut. He doesn't try to plow through the tackler. You got to plow through, because you got to think that guy coming out of the backfield has that momentum. No matter how big you are, I mean, unless you're like, Russo and, you're going against Singletary, that size difference. but you know what I mean? Like, you got force coming at you. He breaks down right before he hits. He needs to keep that momentum going forward. And if he's not committing on that actual tackle of him actually following through the tackle, he's just trying to wrap, just like Vader was saying. He's trying to work on his wrap. He needs to commit through tackle and plow through, because that's going to stop that momentum. And then he's got the bigger body. Leverage is going to carry him that running back backwards. So, and that's from a guy who I had that experience. I was 160 pounds as a middle linebacker in high school, probably a cornerback size. But I was going against guys that were 240 pounds running at me. And my coach was a former Buffalo Bill, Ken Jones, played offensive lineman for the Bills in the 80s. I actually quit the team after that practice because of that. And then I got
quitter.
Yeah, I came back as a corner, though, because that was more my size and my physique was better suited for that. So ended up, doing that. But same scenario. That's my thought on it.
So he needs more experience. All I'm hearing, he needs more experience because he's still young. I mean, what's the cutoff? Or we're going to be like, listen, he's not going to get to that next level. He's been, another year, another 2 more years before we start going, Edmonds, what are you doing?
Honestly, I am actually in agreement with you. He's been in for 4 years. I mean, how much more time do you need? Now, to Jason's point, some guys are getting drafted at the same age. Okay, so say that someone gets drafted, at the next, this recent draft, right? So they get in, they're in for 2 years. Okay, 2 years from now, right? Well, that's 2 years compared to Edmund's 6. Edmund still got that 4 years experience ahead of the new guy that just got drafted. I mean, that's still plenty of time. So
he didn't have the college stuff.
Well, yeah, but also, to his point, 4 years, I think that's plenty of time. I mean, because are we going to use that same excuse for Josh Allen? He's
we don't need
evolved as a player. Are we going to use that for Tre'Davious White? He's clearly evolved as a player. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. So, I mean, if we're using that same benchmark, where would Edmonds, rate on that scale? So, I think that, again, he'll probably come more into his prime next year, but I think right now he's doing good. He could still unlock a little bit more potential.
He did progress from last year. I
Yeah.
had some
All right.
progression this year from him, but
Contract
he
year.
got those games like this last one.
He's
Guys,
definitely not
put
duty.
it like this. Hold on, put it like this, okay? Matt Milano. Matt Milano is 4 years older than he is, and he just drafted a year before, 2017 versus Edmonds 2018 year. When we think of, if we had to think of like, oh wow moments, how many times can we say Matt Milano, oh wow moments? How many times can we say Tremaine Edmonds, oh wow moments? Maybe a handful, but Matt Milano, quite a bit. When Matt Milano's not playing, we see what we're missing. Without Tremaine Edmonds, we don't even miss Tremaine Edmonds, if you think about it. So, I mean, what is that right there? Tampanil, can you put some insight to this, or am I just ruffling the hornet's nest?
No, I agree. I think that he's he's been with us for a while now, and he's not gotten to the point we've all hoped that he had gotten to. And his contract's up this year. So it's kind of one of those things where you got to think, do we sign him for another year? Do we franchise tag him because he wants more than 1 year of a deal? Or do we just cut it loose and draft somebody? Because let's face reality, linebackers, there's a lot of linebackers that come out of college, a lot of good ones. It's kind of like running backs. There's a lot of them.
I mean, look what draft order did Milano get drafted in? 7th round, yeah,
Fifth
and he's an
round, I think it
absolute
was.
He
stud.
was a 5th rounder.
A 5th rounder, okay, still pretty high. Tremaine Edmonds was first draft.
But here you go.
First round.
He's an average linebacker. You can draft an average linebacker and save yourself money in the salary cap.
In the 4th, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, or do you use him as? Can maybe get rid of him as a draft as a trade piece?
You're not going to get anything for him, real. He's a free
Honestly,
agent.
I always
He's
thought
not.
Tremaine would make a good defensive end. That's what I thought of him, like a 3-4 linebacker defensive end where he's a rusher. That's what I always thought. But
like Shaq Barrett,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Just that tall lankiness. Put them damn arms up there. Ain't nobody throwing past him.
I
But
could see that, but we run a 4-2.
right, I know that. But that's what I always saw him as. I'm saying, it was when he played his 1 year of college ball. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Well,
Jenna Marie
his
from
first year, he's been great.
Buffalo, New York, Bills backers. Milano has come in his own and found a way to make plays. I honestly don't remember him always playing like he is now. I think he has since the first year. And then he got hurt, I think, right? Like he started off like a beast, got hurt, and then we're all like, "Oh man, I don't know if he's going to recover from that." And he hasn't missed a beat when he got back, and he still hasn't. I mean, yeah, he has some tackling issues too. I mean, we're not expecting these guys to be 100% perfect. Sometimes it happens, but he tackles people the opposite direction than Tremaine does more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's a good Mike linebacker, that's for sure. He definitely knows where to be and when to be there.
So, I mean, we could debate about this all day. I'm not saying I don't like Milano. I think he's a great player. I mean, he's a Buffalo Bill. I'll always, I'll always support him. Okay. But I just think that we could do better in that spot. I really do.
Terrell Bernard, right? That's the new guy we just drafted.
Yeah.
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 And he did okay. And then even Dotson did good. I think it was against the Steelers.
Dotson. I've always liked Dotson. Tyrell. He was good. He played good last year when Edmonds was out for a couple games. He came in and stuck it out. That's for sure. I think that was the only time I actually got onto Twitter. Was that one time Dotson said something.
So guys, everybody hasn't taken a so we had a bye week last week, right? And it's funny how NFL, let me see, NFL stats leader. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. As you can tell, last week when we weren't even playing, we were still, top of the list, and then a bunch of teams played and we're still there. And and a lot of these teams are like above us right now. They have not taken a bye week yet. So that's insane what our offense is doing, what our defense is doing. Number one offense, number one defense. It's scary. It's scarier than Tampa Neal's Halloween costume. How scary we are. But Bills Vader, you got to be like, how do you like show people like, listen, look at me crying right now? Or do you just like, how do you cry? How do you show emotions? Like if we won Super Bowl, this whole face is gonna be red, tears everywhere, but we can't see it through your mask.
So I just bodily gestures. Especially being at the game.
Like a
when I'm having a good time, I'm getting everybody riled up. I'm waving my lightsaber around. I'm like, motioning, the shout song and pointing to them and doing it and going back. So, I mean, there's always different ways to convey joy and everything. But I will say, as far as a lot of the people talking stats, I mean, I was at work yesterday and a Steelers fan was talking about, oh man, like Buffalo, like really, like man, like I don't know about you guys, you guys didn't even play. I'm like, dude, you don't even have a kicker. Like you didn't even like see anything right now. Like, come on now. So it's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, I know I'm right. We said like the top stats, and we didn't even have to play last week. It's like what? It's like you all can't even get into a rhythm, let alone a winning record. So it's like sometimes you down like quick, let people know where you're at, and but at the same time, it's still fun. So but as far as any tears that I would cry, there would be nothing but tears of joy at this point, because there's no pain whatsoever, nothing but tears of joy and happiness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I'm all dried out after prior to 2017, I'm all dried out. You can't get any more out of this. Come on. All we can do is critique right now.
Honestly, I mean, it's great to feel this level of happiness, because there will be a time when I didn't even have any emotions. That got taken in the divorce. So it's like, what can I say?
Kind of like Tom Brady.
Tom, right? Are you Tom Brady?
The dark side.
That shit, huh?
I mean, honestly, speaking of him, like, dude, if you chose football over your family, it's like, no offense, you kind of deserve what you're getting right now. It's like, I'm sorry, that's just kind of messed up. It's like, focus on your family. Like, speaking from my own experience, I've sacrificed a lot, in some stuff that people will never know and understand for different reasons that they will never know and never understand, especially as a single father. But with that, you still do what you can to put your family first. You do what you can to put your children first. So I mean, clearly, like, if that's the case, and I don't know the whole situation with that, but you need to know your priorities. And if you don't know your priorities, then you know what? You better ask somebody. Just saying. But
I'm about it. I'm about watching Tom Brady's whole life just fall apart. I'm okay with it.
Absolutely.
Especially he's the most sacked quarterback in NFL history. Winning is like, had you to stay retired, guess what? You wouldn't have that freaking record there, would you there, Tom?
Yeah, Tom.
Tom, yeah, Vader,
There's more coming. And guess what? You have Van Miller coming for you. And he's going to add to that mother freaking record, guy. He's going to add to that freaking record. It's going to be a higher tax. It's like, oh, God, I'm getting all worked up. I guess Stan freaking Brady's like, oh, God.
Why can't we play the Buccaneers?
Oh.
I know, right?
In the Super Bowl. That would be like
They're not going to make the playoffs.
That's gonna be my biggest regret is not being able to beat Brady.
That I want to see that. That is going to be a movie making, just moving the works. Okay, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If they somehow make the fucking playoffs,
Yeah.
all right. If somehow they do, they're not good.
Or something.
Yeah, he's got a lot of money.
Tom Brady's losing his money in this divorce, so he can't pay off the ref to get him.
Yeah,
to the
that's
playoffs.
why they suck so
Those
bad.
checks are getting bounced now.
Actually,
more than he does.
I know. Actually, Giselle makes a lot more money than Tom, so Tom's going to be getting probably richer now through this divorce. So he's like, oh,
But speaking of movies, though, I think that Josh Allen is going to have his own movie, similar to how Kurt Warner got his own movie.
Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely movie worthy.
Absolutely. I mean, no name farmer who's got a strong arm, not being accepted is pretty equivalent to Kurt Warner bagging groceries, I'd imagine, right?
Melon farmer, though. That's all.
Yeah.
You were talking about stats earlier. Did you catch that stat? I saw today it's a top 5. It was either top 4 or top 5 quarterbacks with the most passing yards in the first 7 games. Jack Allen's number 2, and we've only played 6.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
I was like, what?
I mean, look at the stat board right now. Offensive leaders. You've got Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Okay. Out of all 5 of those, the only team that had a bye was Buffalo. Okay. We're number 2.
So Kansas City's on a bye right now.
They're on a bye right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Well, still, we're still ahead of Patrick Mahomes, so that's all that matters.
But you look at the receiving stats, Diggs is killing it.
Yeah. He's been averaging like 105, 110 a game almost.
Yeah, he's got over 700 yards in 6 games. Or in 7 games.
Gabriel Davis just needs 1 catch a game for 98 yards, and we're good.
I know, right?
Oh man, that was big plays. It's going to happen too, guys. You don't expect big plays every game, but let them plan for it. Let them plan for the big plays because it's just going to open up a lot more people. But one person that I do not like, I'm sorry, I'm not sold, and this is probably going to stir up some controversy here. Tampa Neal, could you guess who I'm going to say?
Isaiah McKenzie.
Damn it, you got it, bro. I'm done. I'm done with him. I'm sorry. You guys can say all you want, but every time I see this guy, he always wants to run. Like I get it that he wants to make a big play, but he's running backwards when he should be running forwards, and it's just I just don't think no.
He dances.
That play was so nerve-wracking. I know.
Number 10 an opportunity.
Get more. I want more Shakir. I want more Shakir. I do not want salsa dancing, TikToking Isaiah McKenzie anymore. I'm
you
done.
Can ask him. What was it? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I was talking that I was like, I like this kid. I like him. We need to play him. And then what did he do? He scored that touchdown.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Like
though.
right after I talked
I'm
about
not a McKenzie fan anymore. I mean, I like him because he's a Buffalo Bill, but you're right. That's exactly what he does. He runs to the sideline. He doesn't go forward or he runs backwards, and he thinks he's faster than everybody. Like, bro, you've been in the league 9 damn years, all right? You're a little older. You're not as fast as this dude that's 22 years old, I promise you, okay? So he's always trying too hard. Just go forward.
I will say one thing. He has done pretty good on kickoff returns.
Then he can take the kickoff returns.
That's fine.
Have at it, Haas. All right?
Not for $1 million, though.
But other than that, well, you got to have a good kickoff return.
It's Halloween. We'll pay him in candy like you wanted.
There you go.
I mean,
I just going to be good once they get him in there. Once they give him that real opportunity, though, I think that's going to take that spot. He's going to be that do everything back receiver that we need, and every team needs now in today's NFL.
Listen, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy where it's like, oh, okay, you're not allowed to have fun. You're not allowed to have a life outside of football. But when you're not, how can I say this here? When you're not living up to expectations, we expected him to do good things, to be our solid number 3, number 4, okay? Option outside of Gabe Davis, okay? So the number 3 option for our wide receiver. That was our guy. I mean, it was Crowder, but he's out for the year. So now it's like Isaiah McKenzie, you have no choice but to be better. You need to do better. But you're making crappier plays than we want you to. Or is maybe I'm too critique. I don't know, Vader. What do you think, man? Are you happy with Isaiah, or it is what it is?
I mean, clearly, I believe that he could be producing more. And it never became more evident than during the Kansas City game. He was dropping passes. He was tripping over his own feet. Yep. The guy's got great energy. He's got great energy. He brings a lot of positivity to the locker room. And, you know, he has his moments, but at the same time, last year when he really opened up people's eyes to being a alternate option for what's his name, Cole Beasley, in the event that we didn't keep him, you know, I was one of those guys. Now it's like you don't really see him too often in a lot of these plays, you know, and I would like to see a lot more of Shakir. I think that he has been doing great things. I think that McKenzie, you know, still has some gas in the tank. He can definitely, you know, do more, but I agree. You have to produce. You know, you have to, you know, do a little bit more. And, you know, I mean, maybe we'll see a little bit more of him when it comes to going against the Jets or going against the Patriots or whatever. But at the same time, those are really challenging games. We need to see production during challenging games so that way we know what to expect when it gets time to go into the postseason and go into the Super Bowl. So that way we know what we're working with. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. It's I mean, guys, we still have a lot of football left. That's crazy, but he hasn't done enough for me to look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's our guy. That's our number 3. He hasn't done that. So I don't know.
I feel he's in the same situation as Edmonds.
Yeah, but he came from
like
Denver.
that same thing where
Denver,
I can't. So honestly, we can't compare Isaiah McKenzie to Edmonds. The reason why Edmonds is that is like his spot. He is number 1 linebacker. He's the number 1 option for our defense. Isaiah McKenzie is like 3, borderline 4 option.
Well, out of the expectations, like obviously as the number 1, we expect this, and out of the number 3 receiver, we expect this, and you're not doing it. You know, how long do we wait for him to do that? The same conversation we had with Edmonds, right? How long do we wait? Do we just throw Shakir in there and say, hey, look, we need you to be the number 3?
Yeah, you throw his ass in there.
I think we do throw Shakir in there, yeah.
You know,
I think we should. I don't know why we haven't.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's literally, it's we're having the exact same conversation about a different player in a different position about when's that time.
But coming back to that point, though, so what's the difference that we saw between McKenzie playing this season and Cole Beasley playing last season? You know, you see that in last season, Josh Allen was making a lot more passes to his slot receiver, i.e. Cole Beasley, compared to now. And, you know, maybe it could be because of Dorsey. Maybe Dorsey has a different mindset when it comes to, you know, his passing game. But the fact that McKenzie is not being, you know, utilized as much as Cole Beasley last season, I don't necessarily think it says a lot. I don't think it's sending a message. I think that it instills confidence in Josh's ability to make great plays when it comes to the passing game and his accuracy, because he has been pretty accurate this season. But I just think that maybe, you know, if it were more, you know, red zone offense, you know, we might see him a little bit more. But I mean, I just don't see the same type of production and the same type of usage out of McKenzie as he would have with Cole Beasley.
Right.
Not even close.
100% agree with you. If I had to choose right now, last year's Cole Beasley versus this year's Isaiah McKenzie, I would have Beasley by a landslide. Not even close. McKenzie's not even making practice squad. I'm sorry. He can go back down here to Miami and work on his crappy restaurant.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that if Crowder didn't get injured, you'd probably see a little bit more of the slot receiver use, because that's more Crowder's position. And he's had a career much better than McKenzie.
Yeah. I mean, even at the Jets, Jets used him wrong was the problem there. He was outside receiver, just running straight down the field all the time. That's
typical of the Jets.
Yeah.
Just run. I'll pretend to throw it. I don't know. Sack.
They don't even know what city they are in. So
yeah.
Well, they don't even know what state.
State, yeah. It's true.
All right, guys. It's about that time here. Let's go ahead and get our final thoughts in about this game, about what we're doing going forward. I know we're going to be playing the Jets this Sunday at 1:00. Bills Vader, we'll start with you, bro. Final thoughts, and then what are your thoughts going into this weekend?
Well, my final thought is I have every confidence that we will let the Jets know who the actual true and only New York team is. I mean, we're just going to whip them, right there in New Jersey. Okay, not in New York, in New Jersey. New York is coming to New Jersey, and it's going to lay a butt whooping like my grandmother did back in the day. That's what's going to happen. The Jets have been riding high, and, like, where the heck did they come from with all these wins? And you know what? They haven't gone against us. And when they go against us, they're going to realize, oh, wow, we thought we were all that. Like, yeah, we were number 2 in the AFC for a little bit. Yeah, well, there's a reason why you're, behind us versus ahead of us. So I have no issues with this game. Still got to stay humble instead of cocky. But you know what? Damn that. We're crushing the Jets. Jets suck.
I'm about it. I'm about it. Hold on a second. What did Lance say? Lance goes, what is Spartan doing? Never break character.
That's all he does.
That's all I do. I can't see out of this thing.
Yeah.
I'm finding nothing here, man. But you know what? You got to have that dedication.
That's right. That's right.
He's never even seen my face yet. You all have seen my face.
He takes his mask off after the show. It's just completely drenched in like sweat and like boogers coming out his nose and stuff.
I do have a sweatband underneath, yes.
All right, we'll get with Jason. Final thoughts, and how do you feeling going into this weekend against the Jets?
Well, I feel good going into the weekend because, like Vader said, it's the Jets. All right, we all know how they go, but I am going to give credit where credit is due. I do like Robert Saleh. All right, he can put together a solid defense. And they are going to play us hard. Unfortunately, they're not going to play us hard enough. Josh is going to walk all over them. All right. They're going to try some new things. I think this is going to be a Dawson Knox game. This is what I think we're going to see. So I think the Jets are coming up, but not fast enough. Nowhere near the stage that we are. And the Beast of the East is going to be revealed this week. And we will know what's going on. And so will the rest of the NFL. And Zach Wilson will finally be able to play because he didn't play last year against us, did he?
No.
I think he was out.
No. Yeah,
so, he's about to have a rude awakening with a little bit of on action and maybe a little Rousseau, And we're going to be good. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good practice game. We're going to be able to get some things together, maybe practice a little bit of new routes, get Dawson Knox working a little more. So I'm happy with it.
Let's do it. I mean, the division runs through Buffalo. Simple as that.
Yeah. Well, actually, the whole everything's going to run through Buffalo.
That's right. All right, Spartan, final thoughts and how you feeling going into this game against the Jets on Sunday?
So, final thoughts on this week. Happy with the win. Like I said, it was a little sloppy second half of the game, but happy we came out with the win. Can't be disappointed with a win. But going into the Jets, man, we're going to ground them. All right. I don't think the Jets are even going to take off from the runway.
I don't think we're allowed to say that any longer.
Throw a flag. I know you had it. Where'd you do with it? No, but I feel confident. This is going to be a high scoring game for us. We're going to come back after what happened this week with some miscues and stuff like that. I think this week I'm gonna throw a prediction out there. We're gonna get our first 50 burger of the year.
I'll take it.
We're gonna get a 50 burger.
53.
Nice. That's awesome, guys. That's awesome. Appreciate you guys all hopping on. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna get final thoughts from Tampa Neal and myself. Tampa Neal.
Real quick for final thoughts. The Bills came. They did what they were supposed to do. They beat their third MVP in 4 games. Hasn't been done since Troy Aikman did it in 1996. So they took care of business. That's all they needed to do. We have the Jets coming up. I mean, you guys are talking about players and stuff. I'll tell you one thing. Stephon Diggs is going to make Sauce Gardner wish he was still back in college.
I can't wait for that matchup.
That's it.
Cannot wait for that matchup.
Me
Sauce
too.
thinks he's good, but he hasn't played like a
He
Stephon
hasn't
Diggs wide
played.
receiver
He
good.
hasn't had Diggs hot sauce yet.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it in his eyes. Hot sauce.
Beef.
Diggs hot sauce in your eyes.
Final thoughts.
Oh, final thoughts is the Jets though I honestly think they should throw the white flag right now. They should not even be playing in their own stadium in New Jersey because Buffalo is kind of upset that they didn't blow the Packers out of the water. Buffalo is coming in there going, guys, division runs through us. AFC runs through us. The Super Bowl is going to go through us. Jets, go back to JV League because you guys are turds, and you all can like tie the Patriots and the Dolphins. So you guys suck. Bills by $1 billion. Absolute epic show, guys, and that's all that matters because that's what we do, breaking tables every Mondays and Thursdays. So Tampa Neal, before everybody goes anywhere, bring us home, Tampa Neal.
Well, you can always find us right here on the Built in Buffalo Network. You can find us Mondays and Thursdays, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We will be back to our regular scheduled time next week. Make sure you pull us up on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter live. That's the best shows that you will see is us live because it is raw, unedited. Best times. Now, tomorrow, if you missed the show, make sure you pull us up wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple Pod, iHeartRadio, Samsung Pod, Google Pod, anything ending with a pod. You will find us and you will love it. Make sure you pull us up, like us, share us, tell your aunts, uncles, neighbors. Don't tell your attorneys. Happy.
Please don't. Please don't. We love you guys. We love you, Bills Mafia. We'll see you this Thursday at 8 o'clock. I'll be in Tampa. Tampa Neal and I will be doing something special together. Another special Breaking Tables team get together. We love all y'all. Bills Vader, Bills Spartan, Bills Jason. Guys, thank you so much for joining the show. Go Bills, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Halloween.